What is Web 3.0? Web 3.0 explained. Web 3.0 is a possible future version of the internet based on public blockchains, a record-keeping system best known for facilitating cryptocurrency transactions. The attractiveness of Web 3.0 is that it is decentralized, meaning that rather than consumers accessing the internet through services mediated by companies like Google, Apple, or Facebook, individuals themselves own and govern sections of the internet. Web 3.0 doesn't require permission, which means that central authorities don't get to decide who gets to access what services, nor does it require trust, meaning that an intermediary isn't necessary for virtual transactions to occur between two or more parties, because these agencies and intermediaries are doing most of the data collection. Web 3.0 technically protects user privacy better. Decentralized finance, often known as DeFi, is a component of Web 3.0 that's gaining steam. It entails executing real-world financial transactions on the blockchain without the help of banks or the government. Meanwhile, many major corporations and venture capital firms are pouring money into Web 3.0. And it isn't easy to conceive that their engagement won't result in some form of centralized power. The evolution of the web. The World Wide Web is the major tool used by billions of people to exchange, read and write information, and communicate with others over the internet. The web has changed dramatically over the years, and its current applications are nearly unrecognizable from its early days. The web's evolution is frequently divided into three stages: Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0. What is Web 1.0? The earliest version of the internet was known as Web 1.0. Consider Web 1.0 to be the read-only or syntactic web. Most of the participants were content consumers, while the makers were largely web developers who built websites with material delivered primarily in text or graphic format. Web 1.0 existed roughly from 1991 to 2004. Sites delivered static material rather than dynamic hypertext markup language in Web 1.0. Data and content were supplied from a static file system rather than a database, and there was little interaction on the web pages. What is Web 2.0? Most of us have only seen the web in its current version, often known as Web 2.0, which is also known as the interactive read-write and social web. You don't have to be a developer to participate in the creation process in the Web 2.0 universe. Many apps are designed in such a way that anyone may become a creator. You can create thought and share it with the rest of the world. You can also post a video and make it available to millions of others to watch, interact with, and comment on in Web 2.0. YouTube, Facebook, Flickr, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media are only a few examples of Web 2.0 applications. Web technologies, such as HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript frameworks, such as React.js, AngularJS, Vue.js, and others, enable companies to develop new ideas that allow users to contribute more to the social web. As a result, developers only need to design a mechanism to enable and engage users because Web 2.0 is built around them. Consider how different prominent apps like Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube were in their early days compared to how they are now. All these companies go typically through the following procedure. The company launches an app. It enrolls as many people as possible. Then it makes money off of its user base. When a developer or corporation releases a popular app, the user experience is frequently incredibly sleek, especially as the app's popularity grows. This is why they were able to get traction so rapidly. To begin with, many software businesses are initially unconcerned about monetization. Instead, they are solely focused on expanding and retaining new consumers, but they must eventually begin to profit. However, the limits of taking on venture funding often harm the life cycle and, ultimately, the user experience of many of the applications we currently use. For example, when a firm raises venture capital to develop an application, its investors typically expect a return on investment in the tens or hundreds of times of what they put in. This means that, rather than pursuing a long-term growth strategy that can be sustained organically, the company is frequently pushed down one of two paths: marketing or data sales. More data means more targeted ads for numerous Web 2.0 companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter, and others. This results in more clicks and, as a result, more ad money. The exploitation and centralization of user data are fundamental to the functioning of the web as we know and use it now. As a result, data breaches are a common occurrence in Web 2.0 applications. There are even websites dedicated to keeping track of data breaches and informing you when your personal information has been hacked. You have no control over your data or how it is stored in Web 2.0. In truth, businesses frequently track and save user data without their permission. The firms in charge of these platforms then own and manage all of this data. Furthermore, when governments believe someone is expressing an opinion that contradicts their propaganda, they frequently shut down servers or seize bank accounts. Governments can easily interfere, control or shut down applications using centralized servers. Governments frequently intervene in banks since they are likewise digital and under centralized control. However, during periods of high volatility, excessive inflation, or other political instability, they can close bank accounts or restrict access to funds. Many of these flaws will be addressed by Web 3.0, which attempts to radically rethink how we construct and interact with applications from the ground up. What is Web 3.0 in crypto? When it comes to Web 3.0, you'll find that cryptocurrency is frequently mentioned. This is because many of the Web 3.0 protocols rely heavily on cryptocurrency. Instead, it offers a monetary incentive to anyone who wishes to help create, govern, contribute to, or improve one of the projects. Web 3.0 tokens are digital assets that are associated with the vision of creating a decentralized internet. These protocols may provide various services, such as computation, bandwidth, storage, identification, hosting, and other online services formerly provided by cloud providers. For instance, the Lightyear protocol, which is based on Ethereum, provides a marketplace for video infrastructure providers and streaming applications. Similarly, Helium incentivizes consumers and small businesses to supply and confirm wireless coverage and send device data through the network using blockchains and tokens. People can earn a living by taking part in the protocol in various ways, both technical and non-technical. Consumers of the service typically pay to use the protocol, much like they would pay a cloud provider such as Amazon Web Services. Like many forms of decentralization, needless and frequently wasteful intermediaries are eliminated. Furthermore, Web 3.0 will rely heavily on non-fungible tokens, digital currencies, and other blockchain entities. Reddit, for example, is attempting to make Web 3.0 inroads by devising a mechanism to employ cryptocurrency tokens to allow users to essentially control pieces of the on-site communities in which they participate. The concept is that users would use community points, which they would earn by posting on a specific subreddit. The user then makes points based on how many users upvote or downvote a particular post. Those points can essentially be used as voting shares, allowing users who have made significant contributions to have a greater say in choices that affect the community. Because those points are stored on the blockchain, their owners have more control over them. They can't be simply taken away, and they track you. To be fair, this is just one use, a corporate version of a Web 3.0 idea known as decentralized autonomous organizations, which use tokens to distribute ownership and decision-making authority more evenly. What are the advantages of Web 3.0 over its predecessors? Because intermediaries are no longer involved in Web 3.0, user data will no longer be controlled. This minimizes the likelihood of government or corporate censorship, as well as the effectiveness of denial-of-service attacks. More extensive datasets supply algorithms with more information to evaluate as more products become connected to the internet. This will allow them to deliver more accurate information that is tailored to the individual user's demands. Before Web 3.0, finding the most refined result on search engines was a difficult task. They have, however, improved their ability to discover semantically relevant results based on search context and information over time. As a result, web browsing becomes more convenient, allowing everyone to get the specific information they require with relative ease. Customer service is critical for a positive user experience on websites and web applications. However, many successful web firms are unable to scale their customer support operations due to the high expenses. Users can have a better experience engaging with support personnel by using intelligent chatbots that can talk to several consumers simultaneously, which is possible due to Web 3.0.